So we've created an outline that we're calling the trading blueprint, and we're going to talk about one part of that here today. Let me share and let me present it. So step one in that blueprint is this. It is the 3 legs of success. It's the structure that traders are missing at the end of the day. Now, these 3 legs of success are actually something that Travis created years ago. You know, we've presented it in different formats and ways over the years. But Travis, why don't you explain what the 3 legs of success are, and then we'll get into some specific examples.
Sure. So in general, anything that you set out to do is going to have a certain amount of pieces that you've got to have put together in order for there to be the opportunity for success. I'll give you an example. If you have a guitar behind me, but it has no strings on it, you're not going to be able to play that guitar. There's pieces of the whole that have to be there. And then, of course, there's other things that can make it better, but are not absolutely necessary. And what we found for being able to trade or really anything that you set out to do, there's 3 main things that you have to have. You can think of it kind of like a 3-legged stool. If you have 2 of the legs, but you're missing one, the stool's just not going to stand on its own. It's not going to balance for you. And then it's not going to serve its function, right? So if you want to set out to learn something like trading, for example, you're going to have all 3 legs. And simply put, it's the strategy, it's the systems, and it's the support along the way, right? And so what that really breaks down into for strategy, for example, is what you need to do. That is the information. It's the educational component. It's just having the information is probably the best way to put it. You have to know what to do, but knowing what to do is not going to get you to be successful with it. So again, for example, the guitar, everyone knows what to do to play guitar. You hold it, hold down some strings, you pluck the strings, it makes a sound. Voila, now you're a guitar player. Or maybe not. Maybe there's more to it than that, right? And so that's where the systems comes into play, and that's where you're learning and the how behind it. It's not just what you need to do, but it's how to implement that information, right? And that's different person to person. The way that somebody, the how to play guitar is going to be different by the guitarist, right? And along the way, as you're learning how to merge those 2 things, what to do and how to do it, having a support and a backing is going to make your journey better. Again, if Zach is first learning how to play guitar, to have someone like, let's say Mark Tremonti, he's the guitarist for the band Creed, Brian and I's mutual favorite guitarist of all time. He's awesome. If Zach had Mark Tremonti next to him, watching him learn, and then saying, "Hey, Zach, I think maybe you could be better if you do this." You know, having someone guide you that knows more than you, that's really great at what they do. That support system is going to integrate your strategy and systems more efficiently and more effectively than you will by yourself. And that is, again, this is true for everything you set out to do, whether it's trading or you just getting into better shape at the gym. You've got to have your strategy, knowing what to do, your systems, knowing how to do it, specifically customized for you, and then the supports of having someone who's more advanced than you, guiding you through challenges, setbacks, mindset, the whole 9 yards, right? So all 3 of those. And that's really a simple system to remember. It's all 3 S words, right? Strategy, system, support. Pretty straightforward. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. And I mean, I think as it applies to trading, what most people do is if their trading is falling short, they think that the solution is going to be getting more information. They think it's learning more what's, and they end up trading, or not trading, but chasing multiple strategies. You know, they might start following someone on YouTube. They might start following someone else in their WhatsApp community and a Telegram community, and they just chase strategy after strategy after strategy, thinking that is the thing that is lacking in their trading to get them a consistent result.
We can tie that to the guitar again. I'm struggling to play the guitar well, so it must be because I don't know what to do. It's like, no, you know you're supposed to hold that string. It's typically, at least for the guitar, it's a matter of repetition. You've got to get that muscle memory down. You've got to practice the technique itself. It's a matter of application, and also you might just be applying incorrectly. So it's not learning more of what to do; it's that you're struggling with the how to apply it portion.
Right. You don't just throw away the guitar, buy a new one, thinking that's going to fix your struggle.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. This guitar prohibits me.
And that's what people think, though. Legitimately, they say, "Oh, the strategy is flawed." I'll tell you what. Here's the secret about trading. Every single strategy is flawed. There's there's not a single one that is 100% win rate. Doesn't exist. And if you were to look at any strategy, we've been a part of other trading communities and things like that before we started our own. And it was interesting to me how many people were jumping, from different strategy, and the people within that little strategy community. What was interesting is there were people making it work. I mean, most weren't making it work because they were lacking systems and support, right?
But to be fair for those folks that are hopping, though, like it really is a natural response. I don't think it's a fault of the person to think, oh, this isn't working, and oftentimes there's a qualifier for it as well. It's like, this is not working for me, right? They're ready to admit that, hey, it's working for someone else, but for some reason it just doesn't work for me. And that part is where it really gets flawed, because no, it works, but the how portion of things is where you're struggling, and oftentimes support is where it's going to make that easier, right? So it's not a fault to the person. I don't want to be pointing fingers in that direction, but when they first encounter those issues, it is a natural response to say, oh, it must just not work for me, right? Room for improvement in that thought process.
And I would even challenge someone who might have that thought of, this isn't working for me. The challenge that I would have for them is to look at their own data, because oftentimes the numbers tell a different story. So like I'm not going to say this gentleman by name, but there's a gentleman in our community who I think could be potentially the greatest trader we have. But he's not consistent. But when he is consistent, goodness gracious, the dude is on fire, and he's trading, 5 trades an hour, and his account just keeps going up every single day like clockwork. And then there's one day that he decides, you know what, I'm not following the system anymore today for some reason. Maybe it's due to personal situations, who knows, emotions. We know there's a variety of causes for what causes this phenomenon, but then this gentleman will kind of ruin the progress that he's made. And many traders fall into that same category. So it's just, don't say you can't do it without looking at your numbers. And if you were able to do it last week, you can do it this week, so don't be too quick to judge yourself. There are parts of the systems and the support that are required in order to be a quality, consistent trader. So part of this step, do you have anything else to add with that there, Travis?
No, we can continue.
Okay, cool. Well,
one thing to add, actually. Yeah. So for whoever's watching for the first time and starting to learn about these concepts, the 3 legs of success, the strategy, the systems, and the support, as we clarify that further, I think it's going to be very valuable for you. But this is just step 1 of the blueprint. We go into much more detail on what is realistically and actually effective for people as they either begin or solidify their trading.
Yeah. Step 1. I did mark down here 3 signs that you have built a foundation of strategy, systems, and support. So if you're unsure if you have these 3 things, these are the things to look for. If you have this checklist and you can check these boxes, you probably have strategy, systems, and support that you're actually working on a day-to-day. So number 1 is you stop strategy chasing. So you commit to one single method, and you commit to mastering that method. Number 2, you trade the same setup 50 times before you make any changes. That could be a weekly change. That's where consistency is more important than novelty. And number 3, you ask, what does my data say instead of what does my gut say? Logic over emotion. There's plenty of times I've seen people, this is actually kind of detrimental, where they'll say, they take a buy or whatever, a buy or sell, doesn't matter, and they have a really good win and they didn't follow their plan. And they go, wow, my gut said to buy it and I was right. That's detrimental because the next time that may not be true. And so the best way to have consistency is to use what does my data say, not what does my gut say. And so if you stop strategy chasing, you make changes after 50 times doing something, and then you ask what does my data say. Those are 3 signs that you're actually on the right track and you're using these 3 things.
So the antithesis, then, like the where you're off track.
Yes.
Are what? Can you go over those real quick? Just
So if you are strategy chasing, now I don't want to use, maybe strategy might not even be the right word. If you're constantly seeking for new knowledge because you think you're lacking in knowledge and that's your problem, that's a sign that you're not sticking to one thing, and therefore you need more systems and support. If you're making a change or a tweak every single day, that's a sign that you're not following the three S's here.
And it's tempting. Again, these are not faults of people. It's really tempting to want to find a solution quickly, right? But typically the data, it needs more time than just once to change every single day to actually get good data to know where to change, right? Same thing like in marketing and stuff with our businesses. We have to look at what we call split testing with a sufficient amount of time. We can't have 2 or 3 people give us their opinion, if you will, and then know where the data is. We need a larger sample size, and so do people with trading.
Yeah, 100%. And the third one would be the obvious. If you are following your gut, if that's all you're trading by feeling like, I've got a feeling this is going to go up today. That's not an effective way to trade consistently.
When you're hoping and praying.
Yeah.
That's called gambling, by the way.
That's right. Yeah. We don't like gambling. We like trading. There's a big difference. So that's kind of all we wanted to really talk about today, but we do have something to give to those that are not members of our community just yet. We do have a freebie, which is this trading blueprint. So we have, all you have to do is go to toolkit.tradeca.co. And what it does, it's the complete blueprint. So it's exactly what we do that's been working for over 20 years. Where does the 20 years come from? It comes from James Leone. James has taught us everything that we know. In fact, every strategy systems and support system that we have has been extracted from James's brain. Okay, we've worked directly with him to create these systems and support and everything that we have.
It is a cool note to know that everybody in here is a product of this I don't want to call it just a system, but just a product of the strategy systems and support that James has been working with for decades. Yeah. It's not, a pick and choose from many different places and people and concepts. It is tried and true, and everyone is a product of it. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool.
I do too. It's really neat. And part of James, when he partnered with us, was to build his legacy, and that's what has always been our goal. So here we have we also get access to our pro trading payout and business plans to customize everything to you or for you. And that's part of our toolkit. You get smart auto tracking and insights that point out your blind spots, also part of our toolkit. And you get AI intelligent scheduling to never miss a high probability setup. So if you know certain times of day are going to be priority, we have those marked out for you to add to your calendar, kind of thing. And so that is the blueprint. So you get to, if you complete the blueprint within 5 days, okay, we do have a little bit of a timer on it. But if you do that, you get to keep all of those tools. You also get a bonus video at the end as well. In total, including the bonus video, we're talking an hour and a half of content. It is not very long. Someone can hammer it out in a single evening or over a lunch break, basically. And so, you guys can do that. Go to toolkit.tradeca.co. Throughout that process, there's an option for you to book a time with us. So please do. We have openings actually for Friday and Saturday so that we can actually help you see what kind of strategy systems and support that you need to change your trading trajectory from a negative to a positive, right?
I
Anything on
want to
that?
dive into why we put in that timer, that
Yeah.
5 days, which probably it's not even 5 days worth of content. Like it's just giving you ample time in case you already have something planned out. And the reason why is for you. Our data from years and years and years of doing this just as clear as day. If people can't commit to that, they're just not going to commit to the bigger things that are more, going to move the needle for you. And so this gives you a bit of a sense of what's the right word? It puts it on your priority list, right? And as you go through, it really fills out a lot of gaps, and I think will inspire you to want to have a longer, deeper conversation with us to see how this will work for you. There's something else I wanted to say going through it. I can't remember. I just pulled a Joe Biden. It'll come back to me and it'll haunt me tonight. Like, why didn't I say that on the podcast? But yeah, I mean, the idea is to get you moving and grooving. The opportunity, the markets themselves. We always have this feeling of, man, if I had only invested in Google back in 1998 or whatever, there's opportunities in the markets, and the markets are always going to reward action takers. That's how it works. And so what we're trying to help mimic as well in your experience of working with us is that we reward action takers as well. And so this 5-day timeline for you is to help you take that action that's going to benefit you, right? Instead of having to look back and regret not taking those first steps, right? And I think the best way to summarize that is my favorite quote, which is the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. And the second best time to plant a tree is right now. So you guys can go to toolkit.tradeca.co and create your free account, and it will automatically show you the blueprint and show you how to walk through that. And if you're like most people, it should be really entertaining. You can get through it within I think it's 90 minutes total. So like that, you can get through it today and have a really great foundation for your trading.
And just a final little note here. So we keep track of, we just started doing this blueprint a couple weeks ago, and we currently have 37 people going through it. And this is where the stats actually get interesting. And this is why we say we have the timer, is because the people who actually complete it and we're seeing immediately start to follow our process and everything with successful trading, it took them on average a day and a half to get through it. Okay, so we could see that. It's really cool to see. It's the action takers that tend to do well. And we have
meaning that as they add it into their schedule, it's about a day and a half. It's not that they're sitting down for a day.
No. Yeah.
It's still only about 90 minutes long.
A day and a half to take care of that hour and a half worth of videos. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we've had 12 people that we've kicked out of it, because if your timer expires, you're out. And it's, again, that's not to punish you. It's actually, first off, it's a point of integrity for us. If we are putting a timer on something, we're gonna hold to it. And we've had people even where anyway, I'm not gonna get into that, but we've had 12 people we had to kick out. If they want to get back in, we're gonna have to come up with something for that. We've thought of maybe if you read a book or something that we recommend first, then we'll let you back in and for another shot or something like that. But we really do take it seriously for someone to actually take action and to move forward, because that is what helps you succeed in trading itself. So
I kind of want to do a whole podcast on this for the nerdy people who want to understand the psychology behind that, because there's a lot of psychology when it comes to trading, and understand what that looks like and why we implement it this way, I think would be a good 15, 20, 30 minute podcast or so. Because I'm already thinking, like, my wheels are turning, like the actual intricacies behind it. It sounds so face value to say you've got 5 days, but there's like deep connections as to why we push this and hold to it too.
Yeah. And we have data to back it up, which is really fun. Next week on Thursday evening at 5:00 Central Mountain Time, 5:00 Mountain Time, we are going to have another event. And this one's going to be really big. If you've ever been caught in the trap of exchanging hours for dollars, this is the one that you're going to want to get to. Okay. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to be presenting to you guys how to, first off, break the cycle, because you're very limited by time. Time you can't multiply as much as we'd love to. And so if you're stuck in that trap, there's no real way out of it except for something like trading. And I'm going to show you why trading is the best option, not only to help replace those dollars and give you your hours back, but how to scale. We don't really talk a whole lot about scaling in the front. So this is something that's going to be useful for members as well as people who are not members yet. So you can see the whole picture, because it's so much more than just pushing a button and learning how to trade. There can be a whole infrastructure, a business, if you will, surrounding what that can look like to completely dominate and replace your income from your job. Okay. So yeah.
That actually reminds me of one of my favorite stories. And forgive me, I heard it once, like, I don't know how many years ago, from a guy named Russell Brunson. He's a business owner, marketer, one of many salesmen. I mean, he's pretty big in the marketing online business space. And he's talking about how he moved into this pretty well-to-do neighborhood and had a home warming party. And so I guess they do that there. And there was a guy, again, forgive me if I'm getting any of these details wrong, but I think there was a guy that was kind of mean mugging him in the background. Like, just, he comes over, he's like, are you okay? Is everything all right? He goes, I'm a surgeon. I do open heart surgeries and save people's lives. And you make like an incredibly higher amount of money than me. Like, I don't get it. Like, how is that? Russell's like, oh, no. You provide more value for sure. Like, you save people. That's great. The biggest difference though is that you can't multiply how many places you can be in one time, or like you said, you can't multiply your time. Like, you have one person that you can help at a time. I can talk to hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people at one time, right? And so like there's certain skills that you have that are going to have constraints, or even certain positions, like going to your 9-to-5 job, you are at captive until those people decide to give you a raise or promote you or whatever, right? But with trading, it's you and the markets. And that is something that you can compound. And part of the blueprint is us talking about how to actually synthesize that out. And it all starts with a baseline of just 10 pips. And if you can do those over and over and over, you can scale it from $1 a pip, which is a $10 gain. You can go to $5 a pip, it's $50. Go to $50 a pip. Now those same 10 pips are worth $500. Right. So there's a scalability to it that is really unique. Which is where the reward from learning the skill comes from. But where the heart surgeon is although it's a really high value skill and such, but you can't scale it. You only have so many hours in a day, and you don't really want to rush through a heart surgery, do you? So you've got to take your time with it. And so there's a scalability that does not exist with that skill, even though it's a really high value one, right? So this is where trading comes into play.
And what's also really neat about that is in trading, you can, the more you scale, if you do it following our structure, okay, the more you scale, the less risk it is. And so I'll show you guys that exactly how that works. The math, we'll go over the simple math involved in the data so that you guys can see exactly how it all works. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's next week. I want to say it's at 5. I'm going to double check that here real quick. Give me a second. It's at the time we usually do. Yeah, 5 Mountain Time, 6 Central. So we'll see you guys there. All right.
Awesome. All right. Bye for now.
Thanks, guys. Adios.
Welcome to TraDeca, a prosperity movement.